Never thought we'd see NHL hockey in August, but hey, miracles do happen sometimes, right? Regardless, within this also different and unique format thus far, we've seen our fair share of jerk moments from various players already. Less than savory acts that have done damage to teams by taking out players due to injury and suspensions. In this video, I'm going to highlight a handful of the biggest jerk moments thus far in the 2020 postseason. And with that, here are the top 5 jerk moments so far. Now, if you watched my video on Matthew Tkachuk's top haters, then you'll know that I had James Neal as one of these several loathers of number 19. For one, he's the main antagonist playing on a team that he's pretty much paid to hate. And 2, the interview that was conducted briefly after the Cassian suspension was handed out pretty much said it all.
He targets him, he targets his head, he chases him into a battle that he's not in and takes him out. So, the whole thing is kind of ridiculous, just the way he talks after and says with the tracks thing is just stupid.
Yes, that one. So you can imagine, after witnessing what Tkachuk did, and basically after he got away with it, this time though, instead of just being a bystander, Neal, as the one taking the hit by his former teammate, decided to settle the score using his stick as a weapon, and slashed Tkachuk in the back. This of course got the ref's attention, and play was blown dead, as the two kept jawing back and forth. And in result, as is usually the case between the two clubs, a scrum broke out immediately. Speaking about Tkachuk, possibly the pest has rubbed off a little on his best buddy from back home, in Luke Kunin, as the forward was the main catalyst in a bench scuffle mid-frame in the final period against the Canucks in Game 1. The altercation came after a clean hit from Michael Ferland on Marcus Foligno, but it wasn't Foligno that sparked the drama, but rather the also cunning Luke Kunin, pun intended. Ironically though, it wasn't Kunin that was on the receiving end of Ferland's wrath once he got his stick free, but rather the closest target in Ryan Hartman. Hartman could be shown hunched over in pain following the spear, as Ferland, after going back and forth with Kunin and company, was then escorted to the penalty box. If you're looking to spend some time in the press box in the postseason, the usual go-to is going for your opponent's head. As we all know, this seems to be the biggest no-no on ice. Regardless, the postseason intensity possibly sent Caggiula's mind in overdrive as he decided to target Tyler Ennis mid-period in the second with a high hit to the head. Luckily for Ennis though, the forward only made contact with his chin, which I'm sure still hurt. But there's definitely more worst-case scenarios. Ennis, who was able to gather himself, immediately confronted Caggiula while defending his honor. Despite no call being made on the hit in-game, NHL player safety wasn't quick to forget the incident, and suspended Caggiula for the following contest. If you thought the last hit looked vicious, this one will definitely have you shook. One player that hasn't shied away from the gray areas on ice, Mike Matheson, decided to take a run at Islanders defenseman Johnny Boychuk. The hit itself immediately caught number 55 by surprise as he was attempting to enter the offensive zone. And as you would expect, Boychuk's teammates were quick to show their disapproval, while the victim struggled to recover. In result of the act itself, Matheson was given a match penalty, and Boychuk was sidelined due to concussion protocol. No supplemental discipline as of late has been dealt to the forward. This one looks a little familiar. Oh, right. I guess Tkachuk is kinda setting the bar near where Matt Cook left it, as the forward made a similar play that also took out an opposing star player with nearly the exact same tactic. This time, the unfortunate victim was Mark Scheifele. As Scheifele was making his way into the Flames zone, Tkachuk, who looked like he was just going to check his opponent as they made their way to the boards, did much more damage than your average check would. Not saying Calgary's agitator did all of the damage, as number 55 went into the boards awkwardly to start. But the skate tap was just icing on the cake, in my opinion, for Tkachuk in the end. This, of course, had Winnipeg up in arms as Jets captain Blake Wheeler decided to let the perpetrator know exactly how he felt regarding the hit by talking with his fists. But for number 19 though, this was only the beginning of the backlash to come, as Jets coach Paul Maurice didn't hold back during a post-game interview when asked about the hit, saying it was intentional. It was a filthy, dirty kick to the back of the leg. You can't see it on the program, but if you take the blue line feed and zoom in, he went after the back of the leg. Could have cut his Achilles tendon. Could have ended the man's career. It's an absolutely filthy, disgusting hit, Maurice says. Tkachuk later denied having any intent to injure the forward, but regardless, no penalty was given and no post-game discipline has been dealt in result.